Welcome back to the channel. I'm Scott DIY and this is the Limestone patio project. This is the material. So I've got the material to show you what I'm going to be putting down, and it's so beautiful. It's Varazza limestone and it's got a tumbled edge. It's 30mm thick, so that's a real nice thick slab. I'm going to do this project just like you would a tiling project. So I'm going to lay out the slabs first, probably maybe draw it out. But what I don't want is don't want little cuts next to the doorways and where you walk in, where the gate's going to be. So I'm going to lay all that out first to make sure all the slabs are going to be in the right place. But on some of the borders, I'm going to use the concrete pavers that I've used on the walkway. I've got a few left over and I wasn't planning on doing this, but I think it would marry in really nicely. So, you know, it's like connecting one area to another by using the same material. That's probably the first thing that I'm going to put in. And that's because I'm going to put that in first, so it gives us a real good level to go off. I can then put a string line from these blocks all the way across the patio. I am lucky that I've already done the MOT bed. I did that ages ago because I thought that I would have already completed this project by now. But yeah, we put all the MOT in and we whacked it down. The mortar that we're going to put on top is going to be a 5-to-1 mix of sharp sand and cement. We're going to start with these blocks. And I was about to get going, but there's something I've got to show you. We've got a new guest on the channel. So check this out, guys. This is going to make the project so much easier. It's a Soroto force action mixer. It's an 80-litre. And this is going to be so much easier to work with than my old cement mixer. I am a little bit sentimental about tools, and especially this cement mixer. It helped me build the extension behind me, so I'm sad to see it go. I don't really know what to do with it now. Maybe I can put it in the garden, down the bottom of the garden, as a reminder of all the hard work that's gone into this property and where this whole journey started with that mixer. It is a bit of a sad day, but this is going to make things so much easier. You load in the top, it spins the mix round like that, and then you've got a door on this side here. You open it up using this lever here, and your mix comes out into a bucket that sits on this little platform. Let's start laying out these blocks, shall we? Just going to press play for the first time. Oh, it's not very noisy. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to throw 5 of these buckets into here whilst it's moving. Got to make sure that this is closed, otherwise it's all just going to fall out the bottom. But yeah, excited to see how well this turns the mix. First bucket going in. And there we have it. First bucket in. Now let's get a few more in. So I've got all the mix in there. That's 4 buckets of sharp sand, 1 bucket of cement. Now I'm about to put the water in. Can I just say as well, there's absolutely no dust. Right, normally when the cement mix is turning and you've got a dry mix in it, it's like shooting dust out all the time. It's not doing that here. I'm well impressed. I am really impressed with this, guys. This is going to make the job so much easier, honestly. You know what, it's already started. I've just put some blocks down there and the sun's out, which never happens, and I'm burning the back of my neck already, honestly. But it's going really quick. This mix is a really good mix, and I do think it's down to this amazing force action mixer. Everything just seems to be really well mixed together. I haven't got any big clumps like I did in the old mixer. The old mixer would just like shoot out big clumps of old cement that I hadn't been able to get out of the drum. So this is going really well. I just need to get some sun cream on the back of my neck. Right, so at the time of filming this, it is 12:30 and we've already got the first line of pavers in on that far side. Now I'm going to use that as the level to take all of my slabs off, and we're going to work from that side all the way over to where the gate's going to be. This is like the big part of the project. So we have measured out all of the slabs We know exactly how they're going to be cut and how they're going to be laid. We're doing that so that the cut is by the house. It's only a small cut that we're going to have, which is excellent really, because we don't want it to be a little thin slither. The first one's about to go down, but we're going to put slurry on it and we're going to put it in place, and then like I said earlier, we're going to have a staggered pattern. So we're going to cut it in half, but because it's a tumbled edge, we need to make sure that it kind of matches. So I've got a buffing pad. I'm going to buff the edge that's like a really clean cut and maybe try and make it look a little bit tumbled. We're only going to know how that looks when we've done it, and we just need to trial and error. So there's going to be probably about a 10mm gap. That's what I'm going to aim for as I go. I could eyeball that, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a piece of timber that's 10mm, and every time I lay one of these slabs, I'm going to place that piece of timber in between just to make sure that I have got the right size gap all the way through, and it's going to stay nice and uniform. Let's crack on with it. Today has been a really good day, and I've been using the Soroto mixer all day, which has sped the project up so much. And I can only compare it to when I did the porcelain patio, because then I was using my old cement mixer, and because the drum's so dented, it's very difficult to dig in with your spade to get it out. With the Soroto mixer, you just pull the lever and it just comes out into a bucket. It is so much easier on the body, and just way easier, and saves lots of time as well. We've only done one row and a little bit to get us started. We've stopped, it's like 3:30 because I've run out of cement. We've done a lot of work and I'm really happy with what we've done. The weather's gonna be good tomorrow, which is Sunday, and we're gonna just crack on with it then as well and just see how far we can get. Now we've got our screeding board, we've got everything set up, we should be able to just go for it and lay loads of slabs. But we'll only see how it works out tomorrow. See you then, guys. Day 2 of the limestone patio, which is behind me. You can see just a little bit of the progress there in the background. We did so well yesterday, and to be honest, it was a hard working day, and it was really sunny as well, so got a little bit sunburnt on my arm. Today we're going to be making some real good progress, because we don't have to worry about the layout, we don't have to worry about putting the block pavers in. We can literally just start making mixes and then get the slabs down. However, I am super tired. Yesterday was hard work, and last night my son decided he didn't want to have much sleep, so I didn't get much sleep either. So it's one of them, you've just got to battle through, can't really let anything get in the way, you've just got to carry on. So let's get into day 2 and see how it goes. So, because we've got these tumbled edge limestone slabs, what I'm going to do when we have to cut one, because there will be some cuts in some places, I'm going to be using this buffer pad that I've got on the grinder, and I'm going to smooth off the edge first like a bit of a chamfer, but then I'm going to go down and press the edge of the buffer pad into this edge of the limestone, and that can kind of give it a tumbled look. We've done it on a few slabs already and it seems to be working really well, so I'm just going to do it again. As you can see on that edge now, it almost looks tumbled, and that's because I've put the buffer pad onto that edge. It looks a lot better than just leaving it as a clean cut. I think over time, you won't even notice that that was the cut side. I'm just laying a mortar bed for the next slab. This mortar bed is probably around 70mm thick at this point, which is a bit bigger than we would want. And that just means that we're going to be using more cement and it's going to cost more to do this patio. So we're going to put just another layer of MOT, just literally 10 mil of MOT on top of the rest that we need to do, just so we have to use a little less mix. Here, I've just made this nice flat bed of MOT, and I've used my scraper, which is this here, to go over the top of the, so one side is on top of the limestone, and you just drag it across, and it takes a skim off the top, which makes it the perfect height for the next slab to go on top of. Well, I've got to say that is absolutely typical, and it's actually raining. It hasn't rained in like 5 days, 6 days, something like that. We've been having amazing weather. And as soon as we start putting some mortar on the ground, it starts raining. So we've got the umbrella to shelter us a little bit, but it's really mainly to shelter the mortar. We don't want it to get too wet, otherwise it becomes very sloppy and it's a little bit more difficult to level the slabs. These slabs are 30 mil thick, so they're quite heavy. And obviously, because they're heavy, they'll sink quite easily if the mortar's too dry. So I've just told my uncle who's mixing, make the mortar a little bit drier now, so that if we are getting moisture from the air, then at least we're not gonna get it really sloppy. We just gotta crack on. So we've just been drinking some tea and we've had the biscuits out. It was a biscuit sort of time because we had some decisions to make about what this next cut is going to look like. And as you can imagine, this patio has got a certain layout and we need to make sure that where the cuts are, this piece that's been cut in here still aligns with the pattern of the patio. So when we put this piece in, we do need to remove a bit off the back of it, because this is probably around 2/3 of a slab, this piece. We've taken off about 24 centimeters off the back of it, and then we just need to just like tumble the edges with the grinder like we were doing before. But it's funny how you can be working and you can be working really fast and smart, but then you come to one cut that's a little bit different and it's almost like you panic, and then you just, you know, all stand around talking about what the cut should be. And but anyway, we feel like we've worked it out. We've cut the slab and now we're going to get it in place. It will all line up. I actually can't believe how well today went. You know, at the beginning of today, I was talking about the weather being rubbish, and it turned out that it did start raining and we had a bit of trouble, more trouble than usual with the mortar, because obviously you make your mortar mix in line with what the weather's like. So if it's really hot, you need a little bit of a wetter mix, because obviously it's going to start setting quicker and you need a little bit more playtime. Whereas today we've had a mixture of hot, we've had a mixture of rain, so we have struggled a little bit to get that mortar mix just right. But that said, we've done so well with getting this patio down. So I think we've done 17 slabs in total, which is a lot more than we normally do. One of the most important parts is that we've got the final step in place. So I've got the bullnose limestone steps, which are on the bit behind me, but there's one more step which is just off to the side, which is a bit of a tricky part because we still wanted the fall from the patio, but we wanted it to follow through onto the step. Luckily, the mortar's gone off just enough that my son can start running over the patio. The patio's looking mint. I can't wait to do another day on this project. Unfortunately, I think it will be a few days because the weather is supposed to turn. See you on day 4. We're gonna make some seriously good progress today. As you can see, we've done this side of the patio, so we are more than halfway across. We've just got to finish off over there. There's a couple of awkward cuts around where the gate's gonna be, but I feel, providing the weather's gonna be okay, that we're gonna have a really good day of work and get a lot done. So let's get to it. We're onto these final slabs right here, and it's become a little bit of a tricky area to work in, and the best way for me to be working was that way, because I could use the short screed timber and just run along the slab that's next to it and gives me a perfect bed. The problem is, now we're up by this door, I need some area to work, some like room to work in, so we're literally just going to have to work like that across all the way up to where the gate is going to be and where the edge of the patio is going to be. A minute ago I just thought I was filming all of this, but the battery in the camera had died. But really what I was saying was, you're laying these blocks next to each other just onto a bed of mortar that's roughly already the right height, and you just place it in, and then when you've got all of these in a line, they're going to be all a bit higher and lower than each other. So you get a piece of timber like this and place it on the top. You want it in the middle of the block, otherwise you're going to send one side up or down, and you just knock it like that until you're happy with the level, and that gives a nice edge to this patio, and this edge actually matches the edge on the opposite side too. So would you believe it, that is it. I have finished the limestone patio laying. The colour is beautiful. I love all of the tumbled edges. I love the steps and how the colour matches. It's the same material, and it just brings the house to life. Thanks for watching, guys. See you soon.